Hello, this is MelaniNation Media bringing you the news and intellectual conversation for our beautifully infused melanin creations. Today we have a special segment. We have our 2017-2018 SGA Judicial Advisors here. Also, we want you to be as interactive as possible during this debate. You can follow us on Twitter at MelaniNation or text us at 334-569-9728. So to begin, we're going to have a small introduction from our two candidates here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamila Rice. I am a junior political science major from Fresno, California, running for your student judicial advisor on the platform that silence is a double-edged sword, meaning that it can help you or hurt you, free you or enslave you.
Hey y'all, my name is Gabriella Boki. I'm a sophomore sales and marketing major, English minor from Montgomery, Alabama, and I'm running on the platform of OREO, which stands for Open Door, Reliability, Education, and Organization.
All right, we're going to take a small 3-minute break, and we will come right back to you with our questions and responses from our beautiful candidates.
So, yeah, like, just from doing the inauguration parade, you want me to say who I am and everything?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm Bernard Norris. A lot of people call me Bruce. I'm in Talladega College Great Marching Tornado Band. And after performing in the inauguration parade, after raising so much money and getting so many more donors and donations, we are now going to start building more dorms on campus. We're going to try to build an arena. We're going to try to build a new band room, new band suits, new instruments. Things are looking up for our campus now, and things are looking up for HBCUs around the country. We went and did the parade not just for us, and it wasn't even about the politics. We did it for all HBCUs around the country. Whether you supported us or not, that didn't matter. We just did this for the fun of it. We did it for the fun and for the exposure, because we're a small college, we want to grow.
Right.
Just like any other college, we want to grow. So as human beings and college students, if you have the opportunity to do something, a big opportunity, go for it. Do not hesitate. Go straight for it and keep going. Keep pushing further past that. If you see the opportunity, you take it.
That's good stuff. So you're saying that from y'all doing the inauguration, these benefits came in. So they weren't happening before. It was after y'all decided to do the inauguration.
After we did the inauguration, the money started, like, during and before and after, the money started pouring in. So now that it was out there that we're doing the inauguration, and these reporters see our conditions that we're doing this in, they're like, okay, so now we can build, with the money we have now, we can build a band room, more dorms, even more, like, we might even build an arena, might even get a football team, but who knows? But after doing the inauguration, all of these things came to the light, and now they're actually being done. We've met with contractors, we met with construction workers, all of that. Everything's getting done.
And you were listening to Andrea Stokes' interview. So to start off, we're going to have a few rules about this debate. There can be no cussing and or swearing. This is a child-friendly production. You will have 2 minutes to state whatever you're going to state, and after that 2 minutes, you will be cut off. So to begin, I don't really know what a judicial advisor is. I'm sure y'all don't know what a judicial advisor is. So could y'all explain to us what it is that you're going to do?
Yes, I can. It's probably a good thing you don't know what the judicial advisor is, but in all seriousness, so the judicial advisor acts as the counsel or the representative to give recommendations to students who have judicial hearings. So Judicial advisor will be assigned a student. You'll get your case and you go talk to the student if they reach out to you, if they choose to do so. Reach out to you, you go talk to your student, you basically tell them, this is your case, this is what you're being charged with, maybe you should do this, and that, maybe you should, get these recommendations or have this, your mom and your dad sit in with you. And also the judicial advisor is also responsible for holding up the Constitution of SGA. So yeah, a lot of people don't know what it is, and hopefully we change that, but it's a good, bad thing.
So pretty much the judicial advisor is the liaison between the dean of students and the student body. So like Jamila said, if a student has to go to a hearing, the judicial advisor would tell them how the hearing processes are going to go and what to expect. Also, if a student has a concern about anything relating to judicial affairs, they could go to the judicial advisor, and then the judicial advisor could talk to the dean of students, and they could try to help the student find a solution to whatever kind of issues or concerns that they have.
Okay, great. So you saw judicial advisor, you like, that's for me. What made y'all want to run for judicial advisor? What made y'all pick that spot?
So for me, before I even came to this year, my one thing I wanted to do with my life is I want to be a lawyer. So when I got to this year and I found out what the position of judicial advisor was for, I was like, how do I set my path in becoming the judicial advisor? So during my going into my sophomore year, but during my freshman year, Aisha Campbell got elected, and I went up to her. I was like, that's really exciting. I love what you do. And I was like, well, how can I participate? She was like, apply for my board. So I applied for her board my freshman year and got rejected for the sophomore year. No, but you get knocked down, you try again. So for my sophomore year, for my junior year for judicial advisor, for judicial advisory board, I applied again and I got it. So I've been on the actual board as a student representative for on the judicial hearing board, and I get to work hand in hand with Renita and discuss cases and different things like that. So this is something I've wanted since my freshman year, and it's been a trial and error type thing, and I'm glad that I'm sitting here as a junior, ready to enter my senior year, hopefully as judicial advisor. It's been levels to it.
Working your way up.
Working my way up, yes.
Yes, Ms. Gabrielle.
Well, I chose to run for judicial advisor because as I've been here, I've really come to enjoy this university and appreciate it for what it is. And I feel as though I want all students to be successful, and I want them to ultimately graduate. And I wanted to figure out a way where I could contribute in helping them in the hurdles they might have to go over in trying to graduate. And I felt like judicial advisor, that position would be the perfect position that I would be able to run for in order to, in a way, give back to my student body to make sure that their process here is as stress-free as possible. So that's the reason.
Great. Well, thank you for stating that, all that great information. We are going to take a short break with tunes from Rio. But before that, make sure you are stating your opinions and or questions at our MelaniNation Media Twitter page at MelaniNation, and texting us your questions and concerns at 334-569-9728.
Cruise. Okay, I stepped up on that beat and act a dope. I got hella money and my pockets niggas never lonely. From tens to Benjamins, our friend up in the fist like Howard. Parenthesize your sentences and don't practice your flowing. Boy, you got to show me how you keep it smoking. Cuddy Rogers bet about this bread, I see you toasting. Well, I'm feeling wavy, baby, sorta like an ocean. And I'm on that pine love potion. I think this number 9 that I'm rolling. I smoke real green, real pot. I deliver 16s real hot. I spit it in right here on the spot. I got a bitch named Dot. She call me Octo Pops. She come 8 times on one shot. She be screaming, Rio, baby, stop. I know she thinking, damn, this nigga God, but I'm not. I'm just a young nigga getting loose. And the matter of the fact is that I'm juice. My nigga, I'm juice. Juice, 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 juice. You know I got that juice. Juice, 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 juice. My nigga, I'm juice. Juice, 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 juice. You know I got that juice. Juice, 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 juice. I've been sipping for a minute, now I'm dripping.
Oh my God.
Hey, to get these bitches down and stripping is my mission.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
Hey, stupid ass niggas, you know I got you. She know that I ball, they call me Caillou. I ball in the club and I ball in the booth and I ball in the mall and I ball in the hood. Swoosh! I've been scoring like Jordan since I've been recording. Oh, these niggas say I got an advantage. My nigga, I think I'm home courting. But wait, hold up, man, hold up, bro. I'm tired of eating on this motherfucking track, bro. I'ma let my motherfucking man Cooler come finish y'all motherfuckers, bro. I'm done with y'all niggas, bro. Juice.
I'm Juice, she on her knees for the fresh squeeze. I fucked a couple bitches, then I fucked your main squeeze. Please, I had to tell my niggas at ease, cause all my dogs fly, and all your niggas fleas like sheets. Get the fuck off my nuts, you looking at my bitch ass like get the fuck off a butt. I know that you don't get no pussy, but don't put up a front, cause niggas put that fire to you like the tip of a blunt. Hit and run, I'm wrecking, it's my time, I'm wrecking. I'm stepping on these niggas every time a nigga stepping. East side, I'm repping, these tracks I be ripping. I fell in love with a stripper and since he started stripping. Nigga, me and Rio saw that shit coming like we was clear. Nigga smoking blunts in public like that shit ain't illegal. Nigga, I'm tripping. I got the juice, I'm sipping. East side, juice.
Dope. Hey, it's exciting on the beat.
I'm a GQ. I'm a GQ. I met this little chick on a Sunday. I said, ma'am, I'm Rio. Can I do something with you someday? Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm a Leo. You can blame my confidence on my sun sign, but if you dig my shine, then sunbathe. I know I'm funny. I really hope you want me, cause I've been feeling you. I've been peeped your potential. Your ceiling's through the roof. All I'm trying to do is help you grow and stack them digits. I'm a GQ, this grown man business. See, I'm about my bread, but more about making a difference. And if you can stick by my side, then I'ma take you with me. I'm on some Bonnie and Clyde, who think I'm so forensic. I mean, I'm so for real, and leave niggas dead on their side when I get busy. They got out work, so I don't feel no pity. Plus I felt they vibe and it was feeling iffy. All I feel is 50 shades of black whenever I get tipsy. Can you handle that and can you take them with me? I'm talking shots, baby, let's knock them back. When we get to the room, you taking shots to the stomach. Oh, that melodic, bring it out my body, tweet it on your back. Skeet up on the internet and push a couple rap. The art of telling facts is automatic in my gift of gab. Ripping and rapping actually is all within my dab. I'm creaming, let's get this money and go somewhere they can't reach us like Venus, somewhere out of space. The future of your neck is laced, I see it in the stars, I write it in the bars. Everything in my composition, girl, yes, it's true. And when I get to work flipping the visions you see are proof. Ask me how I do what it is I do, I tell you I'm a GQ. I really hope you want me, cause I've been feeling you. I've been peeped your potential, your ceiling's through the roof. All I'm trying to do is help you grow and stack them digits. I'm a GQ, this grown man business. See, I'm about my bread, but more about making a difference. And if you can stick by my side, then I'ma take you with me. I'm on some Bonnie and Clyde. Oh, babe, I'm so forensic. I mean, I'm so for real. These niggas, they on their side when I get busy. I'm a
That was GQ by Rio. Also, make sure that you are tweeting us at our Twitter page, MelaniNation, and texting us at 334-569-9728. Now, back to both of our judicial advisor candidates. We're going to continue with our little scenario here. So, you have a student, he or she comes to you with a concern, they're about to get kicked out of the school. So, how would you go, and they also said that they didn't commit whatever they are going to get kicked out of the school for. How would you go about, helping the student out or defending the student?
Okay. So what I would first do is have a personal sit-down conversation with them, and I want them to be as comfortable as possible and trusting me and telling me everything that occurred or what went on. I would try to make sure that I got as many facts and details as possible. If there were any witnesses involved that would be able to speak for them, I would try to contact them to hopefully try to get the full picture of everything, because as a judicial advisor, you're representing the student and you're trying to help them through their process as well. So I just would try my best to get facts and as much information as possible. And when the hearing, I would also try to encourage them as well to just remain calm. And I feel like if they weren't necessarily involved and they said they didn't do it, then honesty would show itself.
Okay, nice.
Yes, ma'am. So, as a student representative, I see these cases all the time where we have students who are on the edge of getting kicked out of Tuskegee University. Yes, ma'am. And so, as a judicial advisor, your job is to make sure that you are continuously fighting for that student. My platform is silence the double-edged sword. Sometimes we have students who come in and just lie on top of lie on top of lie, and you are presented with all this evidence. No, to be honest, my thing is, as a judicial advisor, my first thing would be to tell that student, no matter what happens, tell the truth. Because if they catch you in a lie, they are going to punish you for that lie. And that's one thing I want to see students do more, is come in, tell the truth, be honest, say what happened, and we can go for there. If you start off telling lies, it's hard to fight from someone. My thing is, as judicial advisor, you always have to be fighting for the student. Always make sure the student is comfortable. Always make sure the student can come to you, and come to you in a respectful manner, and present their side of the story, because there's multiple sides of the story. So you just want to get the truth. And also, one thing I would like to see happen is that our board members be more accepting to students' stories. So a lot of people don't know that Tuskegee has judicial board members who are staff and faculty on our campus, and they sometimes don't understand where students are coming from. And that's one thing I want to see, is our board process be open to multiple professionals here at Tuskegee, because we've had the same board members for 7-8 years now, and some people, the way I would describe them are just bitter. And so that's one thing I want to see judicial advisor be involved in, is picking the actual board members to make students feel uncomfortable, because some of the board members we have now are making students feel uncomfortable. The way that they ask questions, their demeanor while they're in these cases. How can we make our students who have these hearings more comfortable and feel more safe?
Beautiful. And our last and final question. So, how will you inform us about our rights? Because many of Tuskegee students don't know what their rights are. So how would you go about letting a student know?
Well, one plan I wanted to implement was, I know a lot of students are on Twitter and a lot of people follow hashtags. So one plan that I wanted to implement was kind of a judicial advisor hashtag, in which every other day or so, the judicial advisor would post a rule of Tuskegee, or not even just a rule of Tuskegee, but also laws in Alabama, since a lot of students aren't particularly from here, a law in Alabama or a rule of Tuskegee that they might not necessarily know. So even if a student isn't in trouble with judicial, or they don't have a judicial concern, they're still informed about rules and laws in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
It's a really good answer, Gabby. One thing that I would love to implement that I did in my high school, which is a Student Bill of Rights. I drafted the second Student Bill of Rights in the United States of America. And basically what that is, it's rights that students have that cannot be taken away from them. Some people don't know, but as Judicial University is a private institution, and you lose a lot of rights once you sign away that you go to a private institution. Knowing your rights, having know your rights, having know your rights having know your rights forums so students can know what rights that they have on campus, and also being transparent with students, knowing that it is a felony to pull a fire alarm. A lot of students did not know that. And it is a felony to pull a fire alarm, and outreaching students through social media and through mass email would be a great way. And also, the student Bill of Rights would be a great implementation that students can refer to. Maybe it's a card in your pocket that okay, I have this right, this right, this right. But also knowing what students can and cannot do on campus as well would be some very good implementations that we can make.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jamila. So, lastly, we're going to have our closing remarks, and this is where you're going to basically give your last statements to the students out there to tell them why you should be.
I just wanted to ask a question for you guys. Are there any current rules or regulations that the university has, any policies the university has that you personally disagree with and would like to see changed? Whether it be you feel like it should be more stricter or more lenient, based like the punishment?
Yes. So being a member on the student board, we get a lot of cases that are small, simple infractions, and we have board members who, because it's a felony or because it's a higher level crime, they will try to kick kids out the first chance they get. Suspend students, and I just don't feel like students should be taken out of school for pulling a fire alarm. That's not it. Students shouldn't be, if someone feels threatened and they keep a knife in their book bag, they shouldn't be suspended. And we've had cases like this. Mm-hmm. Like, they have suspended school students for just having a knife, and I think being more lenient and understanding where the students come from, and that comes from changing up the board. A lot of the board members we have been on the board for 7-8 years, and sometimes they like I can describe them a little bit bitter for some reason. And I think one reason they are like that is because they're trying to uphold the legacy of greatness that Tuskegee University has, but they also have to understand Tuskegee is changing, whether we want it to change or not. But students, though we are, as all of us as students, we sometimes slip up. We get caught in a boys' dorm, get caught in a girls' dorm. We shouldn't get kicked out of school for that. We shouldn't have to pay so much money, $800 in fines for that. There's a different way, and I think Tuskegee needs to take charge on its disciplinary actions and try to relate more to the students.
I agree. I think things like, you're on a college campus and people are going to drink. And I think that a lot of people, like she said, a lot of the older, administration and faculty, they don't really understand that we are young people, and most young people do drink. Most young people do make mistakes. Like, we're growing and we're developing, and so they take the whole act of maybe having alcohol or drinking, and they make it into something where you should be kicked out of school, and you shouldn't be. Also, there's a rule where I saw, and it was like, you can't be in certain buildings if you weren't allowed into the building by a faculty or staff member. And honestly, I feel like with that rule, I know a lot of students study in bioethics and things like that, so I don't think that they should be penalized or anything like that for studying or doing something that's productive. I feel like if you need a space to go do something and you need a building to do that, and as long as you're doing something productive, you shouldn't be that shouldn't be a rule that's like a violation of the code of conduct, I think.
All right. So we're going to end off with some closing remarks from our candidates, and this is for them to try to win your vote. So make sure you're going to persuade these students. So please put out your most beautiful efforts. These are our students, and they're really, going to come out and vote for you guys. So persuade.
Well, like I said, my whole goal is I want the relationship between the student body and the judicial advisor to be closer. I know a lot of times when I was talking to people and campaigning, a lot of them said that they either, one, had no clue what the position was, no kind of understanding of the job description, and two, they didn't even know who the judicial advisor was in the first place. So they don't necessarily know who to go to if there is an issue. So my whole idea is that I want within the first week, I want specifically freshmen as well as other students to already be familiar with who the judicial advisor is. So it immediately when there is an issue, they know who to go to. Like I said earlier about the hashtag as far as keeping students informed, and also I wanted to do a forum eventually on rape culture and college campuses, because I think that's a discussion that's really important that I don't really hear a lot of people talk about specifically. So, I mean, I feel like I have experience with judicial as well, relating to justice and working with people who may have issues of some sort. I volunteer currently at the One Place Family Justice Center, and in working there, people come there, and when people first enter, I'm the first face they see, and so it's kind of like I have to make sure that they're comfortable already, and I can use those skills from volunteering there to be successful in being judicial advisor if I am elected.
Ms. Jamila?
Okay, so my closing remarks are this. When I first got to Tuskegee campus, I was nervous. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know who to turn to. And I got the ball rolling when I became an interpreter for the National Park Service. And my thing is, I love seeing the people, meeting the people. I've given hundreds of tours to thousands of people, and it's just made me fall in love with the beautiful, how beautiful our university is. And one way that I wanted to contribute to my university is becoming judicial advisor. I have this passion and dream for law and justice. I'm a pre-law political science major studying to go to law school, and as soon as I was a freshman, I hit the ground like, well, how can I get involved and help students and better students? And I've always put myself in that position here on Tuskegee University's campus, with not only being an interpreter for the National Park Service, but being a university ambassador, giving tours to the incoming students, being a laser leader and an NSO leader, always wanting to get in touch with my students and know my students. And I think that I've done a pretty well job of doing that, knowing who my students are and knowing how to talk to people and how to communicate well. Tuskegee University has a vast, various people from all over the United States, and being out there and getting to know everyone that I have, I think would make me a very great judicial advisor. One thing I would want to work on is the relationship between the students and the administration, especially Dean Spells, and having that open dialogue. Dean Spells is a very nice gentleman, and he'll come and listen to anyone's complaints that they have about their judicial hearing, and is open to sit down. And students, just bridging that gap between students and the judicial advisor, and also making our judicial advisory board stronger. So right now we have so many people who've been on our board for a long time, and just making our board a very diverse group, so when students come in, they're not hammered with such hard questions, or they're not being somewhat like harassed during their hearing. They're comfortable with what they're saying. They're comfortable with the people who are asking them questions, and they're also comfortable with a student who's not only been a freshman, a sophomore, and now a junior, but someone who represents and has been through that step in that process, and someone who has onset knowledge of the Judicial Advisory Board, and someone who can know what the problems are with the Judicial Advisory Board and how to fix it and what Tuskegee University needs currently. And I think that me in this moment is the best candidate for a judicial advisor.
All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Gabrielle and Ms. Jamila. Yes, and make sure Tuskegee students, voting starts this Thursday at 12:01 a.m. and ends that same Thursday at 6 p.m. You will need your password and your domain. Also, tune in at 9 tonight for our presidential segment of this debate.